he's not overprotective. Like the first time I was going on a date ever, I didn't know what to expect, like what I was doing, and he was even chilled there. Imagine a sister going to the brother and being like, I'm going on a date, I want to talk about it with you, and he was like completely like, he's amazing. I'm telling you, he's the best brother. I appreciate the Therav that I feel now that when we spend time together, she's actually a very good advice giver as well. And I don't think too many people know that. Whenever I do open up about issues I'm struggling with or places that I maybe need somebody else's advice on, she's great. She's a great person to go to. I used to just like have it all on my face and like look down and walk. Because in the beginning I was lucky, not too many people knew. Everybody knew Arjun has a sister. Not too many people could put the name and the face together. So I would just, somebody say like, disappear. Wherever I had to go, I would just not wait. And if by mistake somebody knew my name and just called out my name, I would pretend like, but वो तो मैं नहीं हूँ, पता नहीं किसके बारे में वो लोग अंशला कर रहे हैं. The relationship that we shared with our mother is not something that any other member of her family or her friend or her circle would understand. And for the longest time, Bhaiya and I were each other's biggest support, emotionally, physically, mentally. For me, he was also my financial support. I was 21. He was also, like Ishaq Zadeh hadn't released, he was very, very nascent in his career trajectory at that point. And he still took care of me in every way that matters. So happy Raksha Bandhan to all the brothers, sisters, everybody celebrating. I hope that this truly is a day that you get to celebrate with your family, your loved ones, and you all make really good memories.
Hello everyone, I'm Rutrani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. This is a very special episode. This is Raksha Bandhan special, Rakhi. It is the time that we celebrate the pure bond that we have between brothers and sisters and sisters as well. Well, and I have a person who is absolutely adorable. She shares such a beautiful bond with her brother Arjun, and of course Anshala is so much more than that, and we're going to find out today. Hello, thank you for joining in.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I think it's wonderful. It's great that I get to have this conversation on Rakhi with you, particularly, is because I love the bond that you have with your brother. You know, I have a sister, and I've spoken to Arjun about this. I love that even though you're the younger one like me, you're often giving advice, isn't it? Arjun's like, she's very wise. And I'm like, well, you know, younger people are usually, you know, don't underestimate
It's girls, we're just wise.
We're just wise. But yeah, tell me about that. It must be wonderful.
It is. I mean, he's super kind when he says things like that about me and to me. But for us, it's a give and take relationship. Yeah, he's very sage-like while giving advice as well to me. And I like the fact that he's very chilled, so I can approach him and talk to him about whatever I want. There's no bandished in that sense.
And which is beautiful.
So yeah, it is.
And also non-judgmental. I know Arjun's very chill also.
Yeah, he's not, like, yeah. That's one of the reasons why it's so easy to talk to him, and I don't have to think like 100 times. And I love that. I love that he makes it like that for me.
You know, he's spoken about how your bond with him had helped him heal. You know, when he used to come back in the house and feel sometimes alone and lonely, he knows that in a corner that you are there. Yeah. I know that you share that feeling. Tell me about it.
I mean, everyone processes, I'm sure you're talking about grief, mom's grief, and everyone processes grief differently, but the grief of a child, only the sibling can understand. There's nobody else, because the relationship that we shared with our mother is not something that any other member of her family or her friend or her circle would understand. And for the longest time, Bhaiya and I were each other's biggest support, emotionally, physically, mentally. For me, he was also my financial support. I was 21. He was also, like Ishaq Zadeh hadn't released, he was very, very nascent in his career trajectory at that point. And he still took care of me in every way that matters. So, of course, when it comes to grieving mom, when it comes to remembering mom, when it comes to thinking about her, when it comes to thanking her, when it comes to imbibing qualities, I go to him very often. He comes to me very often because we have shared memories. And if one of us forgets, it's kind of easy for us to rely on the other one to kind of fill in the holes and fill in the blanks. And I would never have been able to do this without him. He's my anchor. I have a tattoo on my arm of him
Sure that it's so beautiful.
I mean, the
think
world,
it's so
I think, by
pretty.
now has seen
Yeah,
it. It's an
but
anchor with his name on it. But it's because he tethered me after mom passed away. I thought I'm going to float away. I didn't really know what to do because when your backbone is broken, you really don't know how to get up from that, right? Like, you can't. And if it wasn't for Bhai, I don't think I wouldn't be sitting here having a conversation with you for sure. So yeah, we've been each other's support system.
the pride that he takes in you know, and I love that you know, that she's somebody who started working and taking care of herself very young. You found avenues, you were doing your own thing, and that, right? In a filmy family, when you have actors, you know, of course, you know, you have Janvi, Khushi, all actors, you are still very secure, and I think that is a beautiful part. And you're charting your own path, right? Whether it's you're doing your own NGO, whether it's doing your own business ventures, whether it's doing that connecting fans, you know, the one that you have, which with actors, which was so amazing, and it continues. Tell me about all of that, because I think being secure in a filmy family is not as easy. You know, people think, of course, you have privilege, but there's also this part that people don't talk about.
I think it's a lot of mom's learnings, and it's also a lot of Bhai's encouragement because I graduated from New York from college, and mom passed away shortly before that. So when I came back to India, I hadn't lived in the country for the longest time. Not only was it an adjustment to be back to Bombay, but it was also an adjustment to living in a house without mom. And at that point, I thought that the best thing for me to do would be maybe to not restrict myself to job opportunities in the city. Maybe I would want to explore some other part of India. And Bhaiya was on the same journey as me, right? He could have easily been like, no, I need you at home. I need you to be in Bombay because when I come back home, I want somebody there. And he didn't do that. He's never tied me down. He's never made me feel like I can't achieve something because of my gender, my age, any kind of responsibility, nothing. Yeah. He's empowered me by just letting me grow and be and become who I want to become. When mom passed at 21, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I want to do. I had no 5-year plan. My 5-year plan perished. It didn't exist. And at that point of time, it was me meandering through life, figuring out what I want to do. I worked at Google. I worked at a startup. And then I had the courage to start my own business. I wound up that business also last year. And now again, I'm finding what I want to do organically. And he knows that I'm secure in who I am, but he also doesn't put any kind of outwardly pressure. And I appreciate that. And I think mom's brought us up like that, but he carries mom's legacy forward every time he gives me the ability to have wings. And I think that's something that he does because that's just who he inherently is. Not just as a brother, but just as a person. He will always want anybody close to him, anybody he loves to flourish. And if he can help that person flourish, he's going to go all guns blazing.
Okay, on that note, I'm sure you have so many Rakhi memories. You know, there's so many memories, right? But tell me a particular Rakhi memory that you remember. Why is that special? Tell me an anecdote about it.
We always meet at one of the family houses for Rakhi every year. It's been kind of a tradition. There aren't any anecdotes as such here because every Rakhi is just so much fun because the family, no matter what we're doing the rest of the month or the rest of the year, there are certain occasions for which we will all band together. And whether it's the food that's overflowing on the dining table, whether it is just one-liners coming in from like Riya Didi or like Arjun Bhaiya, it's just always, it's always special because just us cousins and then like even like dad and bua and like chachu, like everyone just being together, like it's multiple generations just like celebrating a festival of love together. That's always the best memory.
I know he's great at imitations. Can he imitates you as well? Because he obviously he kills the Anil Kapoor imitation.
He must be imitating me.
He's like, he must be.
He must be. In front of me, he's not done it, but he makes fun of me. He can, like, I don't have like a, like Anil Chachu, he's iconic.
Yeah. That is true. You don't have a thing, but there are some...
I don't have a thing, but he can talk like me. If there are like certain catchphrases or words I repeat all the time, he puts it in conversation whenever he wants to have like a easy breezy moment.
But it's fun, right? Yeah. That's how it's supposed
to be.
He's
a fun kind of guy. He's a great guy to be around. You know that. You spend enough time around him.
Absolute great sense of humor.
Yeah.
We were talking about the bond between brother and sister. You also have a beautiful bond with your sisters as well, right? Like I said, I have a sister and I feel like I have someone in my corner all the time. You know, Janvi, Khushi, you, whether it's Sonam. I think, and particularly with Janvi, Khushi and you all, because you're of the same age, around that age, I think even they've said that, you know, by the way, everyone said like you're a true critic. Like when someone wants to get like a true, honest opinion when I talk to them. They said like, Arjun said, like, Anshula is my true critic. Without mincing words, one person who says it is you, which is, I think, great because reality check for everybody is important.
It doesn't come from a place of me wanting to give anybody a reality check.
Sure.
It just comes from a place of me just wanting to give my opinion and like genuinely not knowing how to sometimes sugarcoat. So it just comes from the place of honesty. And sometimes it's appreciated, sometimes it's not appreciated. I'm learning to pick up cues on when it's going to be appreciated, when it's not. But you know, I mean, honestly, if you can't be truthful with your siblings, then like how, where else can you be, right?
Yeah. How would you describe your, like I said, the sisterhood that you have, you, Khushi, Janvi together? How's that like? And I feel you all are like those friends, right? Which are always there around you because they're a part of the family.
I love it. I love having them be so accessible and so approachable, and I just love the energy that they bring to my life. Like I know if I'm ever having like a day that I need like a breath of fresh air or I just need to chill out, like I literally just have to message either one of them. And I know that it's going to turn, like the day's going to turn around for me. Like they can instantly lift my mood, and it's just their presence that does it. It's not even like they have to go out of their way and make anything like super special. And I truly appreciate that. I appreciate the therav that I feel now that when we spend time together. I appreciate Janu's, she's actually a very good advice giver as well. And I don't think too many people know that. But whenever I do open up about issues I'm struggling with or places that I maybe need somebody else's advice on, she's great. She's a great person to go to. Khushi's always there. Khushi's the support system that you know that like you have. She's your backbone. Like you know that like she's always going to be there and she's always going to make sure that like she's supporting you come what may. And to have that kind of faith and love coming from a sibling that's the ultimate goal, right? Like you have a sister, you know what that means. Just having that one person who always has your back. And like I have that with, I'm the luckiest girl ever because I have that with all three of my siblings and with all of my cousins. I mean, I think because we grew up together, we kind of formed a band of like literally like just like it's a great wolf pack, for lack of another analogy, to kind of be part of. Because we do have the ability to be on our own and go on our separate paths when we have to, but we do band together whenever it's needed and no questions asked.
When we seen you a little in the beginning, I of course, you're shy, you have your own space. But today when I see you, of course there's confidence, but you're also very casual about it, when you're dealing with the paps. Tell me, was that an evolution?
That was an evolution. I think my first 5 years was me hiding from them, so I used to have longer hair, now I've cut my hair, but I have like long curly hair. I used to just like have it all on my face and like look down and walk. Because in the beginning I was lucky, not too many people knew, everybody knew Arjun has a sister, not too many people could put the name and the face together. So I would just, somebody say like, disappear. Wherever I had to go, I would just not wait. And if by mistake somebody knew my name and just called out my name, I would pretend like, but वो तो मैं नहीं हूँ, पता नहीं किसके बारे में वो लोग अंशला कर रहे हैं. So I've gotten away for a very long time. When they picked up on the fact that I'm a little bit shy and I don't really know how to pose, like posing, I'm really awkward, they were kind about the fact that they would just not pressure me into like giving them a photo if I was not in the mood to give them a photo. And half the time I would just be like, भैया नहीं है क्यों ले रहे हो, कौन पहचानेगा, किसको चाहिए photo, and they would laugh with me. So yeah, I've had my moments of not taking myself seriously with them. Because at the end of the day, they're also people, right? Like if you talk to them like people and you give them that respect of telling them that you're uncomfortable, they're not going to force you. Or maybe I come from a place of privilege that because they respect my family enough, they give me that safety net. I happily took it.
But I think like I said, I define it. I think you're chill. I see just coming and going. Like, you're not hassle or you don't really try to fit in, which is wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, of course, we're talking about Rakhi, and a part of Rakhi is also about like when you're tying the thing, it's about protection, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a two-way street, always. And I know he said that he is protective about you, of course. I want to know an anecdote that says, is he overtly protective? And I know you are as well about him. So I want an anecdote on that part.
We're protective about each other, obviously, because we've lived together our entire lives also. And for us, like, especially after mom passed away, we were it, right? Like we were a unit and we were it.
Yeah.
So of course we're both protective about each other. But he's never been overprotective ever,
No?
ever. Like even if when it came to me asking him advice about things that I would expect an older brother to be like, how can you do this?
Yeah.
No, I forbid you. Never. Completely chilled out. Even if I would be out till like maybe 3 or 4 in the morning and it was just him and me staying together. Sometimes your parents do that, right? Like they'll send you frantic texts, so they'll call you to be like, where are you, what time you're getting back. With him, it was super, as long as he knew where I was, I had my freedom. Only thing was, we just had to keep each other informed that, okay, today I'm going X, Y, Z, and I don't know where the night will take me, but I'll be home. And if I get stuck somewhere, I'll call you, I'll text you. And the same goes with him. And before, if I was home and he was going out, if he was home, I was going out, whichever one of us was home, basically, they would just send a text saying, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you're home. Just send a text, regardless of whatever time it is. So he's not overprotective. Yeah, like he's
So sweet.
yeah. Like the first time I was going on a date ever, I didn't know what to expect, like what I was doing, and he was even chilled there. Imagine a sister going to the brother and being like, "I'm going on a date. I want to talk about it with you," and he was like, completely like.
Imagine can be that person.
He's amazing. I'm telling you, he's the best brother. Now everyone's going to want to be a sister, which is great also. He's a great brother.
If you're in trouble with your dad, is he the one who will kind of sort of not like, not be able to let it go too bad, come and like be in between saying nahi, jane do.
But we've never been in a position like this, so I don't know what to answer.
You've never been in trouble?
No. I was a
Hello,
nerd,
Anshula.
padaku nerd. Like
You are amazing. I have been in trouble, so maybe it comes from that place.
Never, not even with mom, nor with dad.
Not yet.
No.
Amazing. Okay, that I don't know what to say about that.
Obviously, he'll cover for me and I'll cover for him.
yeah.
But like, we're very honest as a family. Like, we've never had to cover anything. Like, it's not a...
Nothing's a big deal. So you can
No.
just, but I love that. That's how it is. Like, it's a big Kapoor, happy, honest family. That's how it should
Maybe
be.
that's why I'm chill, because everyone around me is chill now. Like,
That is true. But that is true. Okay,
I'm just mirroring emotions.
just sort of, this is how it is. This is how it should be. But it's okay. And advice to a lot of young sisters out there, right? And to the young women, you've charted your own path. What would you like to tell them?
It's a very nice question. I don't know. I would tell them to do exactly what their heart tells them to do, whether that means that they want to have a conversation with a family member telling them that they want to work, whether it's a conversation about them not wanting to work, whether it's a conversation about them wanting to study, whether whatever is in their heart and they really feel like that's what their calling is. Once they figure that out, I think having an honest conversation with at least one person in your family who then becomes your support system is extremely important. But I've also been in the boat where I've not known what I want to do, right? Like I just took up a job ad hoc because I thought I'll figure it out while I'm working there. And sometimes that's okay too. Like you think you learn on the job, or like when you get life experience, you'll know exactly what you want. So I think the other advice would be, don't take yourself too seriously. And regardless of what age you're at, don't always feel like if you have a 5-year, 10-year, 8-year, 3-year plan, it's going to come through. Like you're not a startup that needs to have like a runway of 3 years to know what's going to happen in the next 3 years. Like you can take your time to figure life out. And also, if you put that pressure of like hitting goals only, you're not going to enjoy the moment. You're not going to enjoy any achievement, whether it's big or small. You're not going to want to celebrate anything. And what I've learned from people around me, sometimes the smallest celebrations, the smallest victories of what we consider the smallest are actually a pretty big deal. And we're just like undermining ourselves. So I think celebrating yourself regardless of which walk of life you've made it, done it, whether it's a big thing or a small thing, is important.
I agree with Arjun. You're extremely wise, and that is great advice. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, now some fun questions. Anshula, are you ready?
Maybe?
No, it's fine. You're doing great. Listen, please. Absolutely okay. So, are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. What's the best Rakhi gift you've got till now? Can be from anybody.
Bhaiya's love.
Oh, no. Let's go materialistic.
Honestly, like just his support, yeah. Like we're not materialistic. The thing with us is we don't gift only on occasions. Like he will randomly, if he's entered a shop or he's online shopping and he sees something he thinks I like, no occasion is needed. He'll just like buy me something. Yeah. So we've not done any like Rakhi specific gifting, such as like that's like. So like he bought me my first car, but that wasn't like Rakhi centric. But that was just like.
That's a great gift.
That was Bhaiya centric, and it was a great car.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
I like bhaiya centric. I like that term more than
bhaiya
you like.
centric.
But I love
mean,
that.
he's always pampered me. He's always spoiled me from like any electronic gadget I wanted to any holiday I wanted to go on.
cute.
He never says never.
Goals, okay? Sibling goals right here. Everybody listen in. All right. Okay, so let's say if you had to give advice to people or to your family members about giving you the perfect gift right now, what would that be?
Honestly, I've just moved into like a new house, and I've been redoing my house, and I've been literally, I think 50% of my house at this point is IKEA, and the remaining that's left, I feel like I have an entire. So on the IKEA website and app, you can make an entire wish list of things that you haven't bought yet, but you want to buy, like those hearted products. I have 3 separate wish lists for 3 different rooms of my house. So I feel like depending on the age of the person wanting to get me a Rakhi or just otherwise gift, I'm just going to be like, this wish list is yours, that wish list is yours.
You're very simple. I'm giving you Rakhi. But I know what you want.
I want your fan.
I have a fan which I'm giving up for sure. That's done. Our sisters, so I'll give you. But done. But yeah, it's great. But I feel like because you're talking about house, what is your favorite corner in the house and why? And how is it? How do you like it to be?
So I love reading. I have this nook in my bedroom that is an entire, like it's shelves of books. And I know that it's not cool to do this, but like instead of doing it author-wise, it's color-wise and it's genre-wise in the color.
Yeah.
So it looks really pretty. And I have like a white chair in front of it, and obviously I have an IKEA table along with it as well. Just like, half my house is IKEA at this point. So I love sitting there, whether it's with my my green tea or like just with my breakfast. Like this morning, I've eaten my breakfast sandwich there, sitting just with my book, because I love starting my day with like 10, 15 pages of a book. I feel like it just gives me a whole different perspective on my day and it calms me down. I love if I'm not ending my day talking on a video call to somebody, I'm ending it reading a book.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just like going into that cozy corner, and it's got like, it's warm, it's inviting, the sofa is like a love seat, so it's like big enough for me to like pillow and sit like comfortably, chokri marke also. So
Cute.
that's my corner.
That's your corner. Okay. What's the best dating or relationship advice you received from Arjun?
If there's ever something that you are uncomfortable about or you disagree with, resolve it there and there. Do not hold on to it. If you're feeling anything positive or negative, always be upfront about it with your partner. If you're feeling like a compliment is coming, give it. Don't wait for like a special occasion or like the right moment. Hug often. Communicate often. He's a wise man. I can go on. Apparently, I can't stop talking every time I talk about his
But
events.
I love it. Okay, but on that note, because you said that, one amazing quality, which might be a lot, and one annoying quality about your brother.
One annoying quality is the way he keeps playing with his hair. Like he just sits like that, and I feel like everyone's seen him do that now. That's a little bit annoying because I just feel like he's tugging his hair, and I feel bad for his scalp.
Okay.
One amazing quality about him is he's the most big-hearted and emotionally present person I could have ever wished for as an adult or a male adult figure in my life.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest compliments that I think about in my head when I think about him is, no matter what is going on, he will always make time for me. And I truly appreciate that because I know how busy he is and I know how taxing life can be. But just knowing that he is unconditionally always going to make sure that he makes himself available for me, whether it is just for a hug, whether it is just for like even a side hug sometimes, whether it's for a conversation, whether it's for anything, he just makes himself available, and he does it without any time limit. He does it without any agenda, and he does it with 100% being there, being present, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that he makes me feel seen and heard and appreciated, and he's taught me the value of all of those things. So I think I speak a lot when it comes to him.
But it's wonderful, but it's true though. I love that. A lot of people are truly, like you said, towards the end, they're all going to go slide into his DM and say, "Humko bhi behan bana lo yaar, humko bhi bana lo." But it's amazing. Okay, this is fun ones. You have to name family members, from your family. You have so many brothers and sisters, and tell me who this tag fits the best. Okay, here I go. The bookworm.
Sonam Didi.
Like, yeah, she always has good suggestions for books as well, right? Okay, the fashionista.
Riya Didi.
Okay. The advice giver.
Arjun Bhaiya,
Okay. The party starter.
Kanu Bhaiya, Mohit, my cousin Mohit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can name yourself at any point if you think the tag fits you. Okay.
Okay.
Your BFF.
All of them.
If I had to say like who are you closest to, who would you name?
All of them.
A true sibling. You didn't fall in that trap, did you? Well done, you. Well, look at you. Okay. A person who actually gives the best gifts.
All of them.
All of them. Okay. The best dancer in the family. You'll see in weddings who'll get up and make everybody dance.
Arjun Bhai is a really good dancer. Janvi is a really good dancer. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That'll do. Okay. Someone who you think is the calm center of the house, is always calm, the zen, the zen person.
Akshay Bhaiya.
Really? Okay. I hope you name one of the, I'm waiting for one of the tags to be yours. Okay. Someone who's always ready with a sense of humor and cracking a joke.
Arjun Bhaiya.
Arjun? Arjun is the one. Okay. Someone who you think is always there when you need them, like your 4 a.m. person that you can immediately think and call.
Honestly, I've lucked out with all of my cousins, even my bhabis, my brother-in-laws, all of them.
Yeah. Who according to you is the best cheerleader in the house?
All of them, but particularly where it comes to me, I think Janu.
Janvi.
Janu and Khushi both.
Yeah. And how does Anshula look at her evolution of style? Because you have, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm still finding myself where my style is concerned. I think right now where I see myself is, if I like it, I want to try wearing it, and if I feel comfortable in it, even if it's something I've never worn before, I'm going to step out in it.
I love it. To end it, how does Anshula take care of her mental health?
By visiting a psychologist as often as needed, by not bottling anything up, by being as honest as possible with every important relationship in her life, and by having self-care days where she takes priority over anybody else.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for being so honest. I appreciate that. And also, if you could wish everybody a very happy Raksha Bandhan and a small message to everybody on this beautiful day of Rakhi.
Happy Raksha Bandhan to all the brothers, sisters, everybody celebrating. I hope that this truly is a day that you get to celebrate with your family, your loved ones, and you all make really good memories. And it's not just about the gifts, sometimes it's also about the bond. So maybe this Rakhi focus on conversations and relationships.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Sending you lots
Thank
of
you.
love.